का book, Vatusartika?
No, no.
Yes, में नहीं है ना?
No.
Well, I've not heard of
This is not in that poems book. Please take the printouts. Keep it here.
Hari Om, sir.
So I hope this is they've changed the what do you call the sitting arrangement. So there's more light now.
I think this is much better.
Much better. No?
It's even the other time the light was there, but the glare was coming from behind.
Correct. This is much clearer. Even
this is more clearer.
direction change नहीं तभी भी फर्क पड़ना है चल आप इधर बैठे थे तो फर्क पड़ता है जब तक आप यूज करते हो you get used to it.
I'll change the orientation as well.
Okay.
So you can see the board as well. I'll turn it when you want to see. Good morning. Okay. Shaji will start. Start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. So we will take up the poem by Khalil Gibran. So he is a Lebanese poet who settled in New York later on, born in Lebanon. So what he has written is pure philosophy, nothing else but philosophy. It's incredible poetry, and you can tell he was a great personality by his writings, pure Vedantin, if you want to use that word, but yes, very highly evolved soul. So a couple of things he has written, a small snippet on marriage, and so many aspects he's written, so many karma, kaise karna hai. Every aspect of life he has written. A small book he has got called on giving. It's called Khalil Gibran's, some small booklet is there. It has got all those things. Now, it so happened that in 2008, somebody sent Khalil Gibran, not Khalil Gibran, Khalil Gibran, poem to Swamiji, 2008. And then Swamiji knew, अच्छा ये Khalil Gibran कभी पढ़ा है मैंने. So let me study. So he spent 2 of his morning sessions. Usually he writes the books. He said, मैं books aside करता हूँ, मैं Khalil Gibran पढ़ता हूँ. So he read this. And I said, this is an amazing piece of literature. We need to have a class on this. So it's not in our curriculum, but Swami said, no, we must have this class. And we had 2 sessions on this. 2 hours sessions by Swami. So very, very potent So one of the things he talks about here is giving, right? First qualification, most of the humanity fails to read this is nobody is a giver. So on giving, so unless you're a giver, then it makes sense to us. So first thing Swamiji said, I don't know how many how many people it applies, but you must be first a giver to understand what is giving and how to give. We think that अच्छा यहाँ एक charity कर दिया, वहाँ एक दे दिया, वहाँ एक envelope दे दिया, हो गया. But he says वो giving है ही नहीं. When you read Khalil Gibran, right, it is so interesting. You say, अरे बाप रे ये कैसे क्या क्या levels है कि हम लोग giving को we can make it fine tune. All that we know is to give. चलो ये दे दिया. No, there are so many layers to it. There's a physical layer to it, emotional layer, intellectual layers. Please, just pass on this thing.
Giving doesn't only mean giving money. At least you can give a smile to a people.
Yeah, that's what he talks about all that. He talks about all that. Right? So one of the things to start with is humans. Can you hear? Oh, can we reduce one notch? The problem with human beings is we are so self-involved in our lives. It's not a negative thing, but it's a natural thing. We are all involved in our own lives. मेरा क्या होगा, मेरा क्या होगा, मेरा कैसे हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, कब हो रहा है, कहाँ हो रहा है. It's all about us. We are always thinking about us. Maximum we will stretch a foot here and then cover our family. That's it. We don't usually think about others. It's not natural. But what is natural for a human mind is, if you think about others, then you'll be happy. If you think about yourself, you'll be unhappy. That is so strange. It's such a dichotomy. It's like a, oxymoron kind of a thing. Why? Naturally, I want to think about myself. देखो अभी किसी को पूछो कैसा है, he will talk about himself only. We all the time think about ourselves. But your mind will only be happy if you think about others. Others means beyond your circle. Others means not just your family. Your family always you think. Everybody is pareshan about their family. But outside. And that's the problem. So we are all stressed because we think about ourselves. It's called personalization. We always think about ourselves. Think in the sense, I don't want to use the word think, worry. Think at least has some kind of intelligence in it. To think, analyze. No, we are always self-absorbed. So that self-absorption is the problem. And then he talks about, he starts with the poem, see. He says, what did he say first? He says, then said a rich man, speak to us of giving. A rich man comes to Khalil Gibran and then says, sir, giving ke baare mein boliye. What does it mean? Why a rich man? Because poor people cannot give. Sir, how can you say that? Such a controversial statement. You say poor people cannot give. No, you can't give. There is some caveat in it. I'm saying it. Only rich person can give. That's why a rich person can comes to him. Now the question is, what is he saying? Who is rich? We discussed it. Who is a rich person? Yes. So, whose desires, not needs, desires. Needs के बाद desires आते हैं. Is less than income. Who is a poor person? That's it. ये definition है rich and poor का. I don't think you can see here, there. So let's not bother. Okay, desires, income से कम है. Income can be $50,000, $50. It doesn't matter. किसके desires कम? If your desires are less than your income, you have ample to spare. You are a rich person. Only that person is asking how to give. And only that person can give. अगर आप poor हैं, which is your desires are more, how can you give? For yourself only you don't have money. Because you're earning 100, but your desires are 150. How can you give? So you're earning 100.
Reduce your desires.
So your desires are less. 50 desires है. 50 का क्या करूं मैं और 50 का? Okay, I want to give. That person goes to him. I say, sir, क्या करना? कैसे give करना? Right. Then said a rich man, speak to us of giving. And he answered, Khalil Gibran, you give but little when you give off your possession. First thing, Master Blaster says you give. And also one more thing, I just will come back. Rich and poor is also very interesting, you know. If you earn more than $300 a month, $300 कितना हो गया? Indian rupees में? I think some
27,000.
Huh?
27,000.
27,000. Last time when I checked in 2008, it was 20,000. ठीक है. 27,000 per month. If you earn, you are richer than 80% of the world population. Did you know that? 80%. So you are 10 में 2 हो आप. The exclusive zone you are. कितना? 27,000 bus if you earn. Just 27,000 rupees you earn per month. You are richer than 80% of the world population. You are elite. What do you think you are? 30,000 बहुत कम है sir. 30,000 Bombay में impossible है. You will say. World is 8 billion people. You're richer than more than 7 billion people. Richer. So how do you look at richness and poverty? One is this. One check statistics. So interesting. Right? So yes, he says, you give but little when you give off your possessions. So I have an extra charger, I give it to big deal. You think, you know, first of all, koi deta nahi. And then that's what, there is a concept called minimalism. Have you heard of minimalism? Right. What is it? Is to live a very frugal life. This 6-7 years ago, it caught up on the internet. Some Americans started, all of a sudden becomes famous. Which is what? To live a very frugal life. So what he says is a very interesting concept. I've actually started that. He says, every day, get rid of one item in your house. Get rid of one item. Very interesting. So I saw there was an extra clutch pencil. I said, I have 2. Why do I need 2? Just give one away to servants को बच्चों को दे दिया with the pencil leads also. So he's saying, just giving away stuff doesn't make you a giver. What will make you a giver? It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. What does it mean? So let's say in terms of monetary things, let's say you have 2 loaves of bread, right? You give 1 loaf, you keep 1 loaf. He says that's not giving, right? If you have 1 loaf of bread, you give that loaf away. Half nahi, you give that loaf away and you don't eat. That is true giving. That doesn't mean he's asking you to starve. Please don't It's not the negative thing.
How you get it only?
So when you give, there must be a pinch. It should not hurt you or scar you for life.
Happy. When you give to others, you feel happy yourself.
I'll come to that as well. First, to give, when you give, it should hurt you a little bit. अरे मुझे चाहिए था मगर चलो ले लो. थोड़ा hurt होना चाहिए. That's what he's saying. When you give of yourself, next, it is when you give of yourself that you truly give. So daffodils, आपको, you know this poem called Daffodils? Daffodils में, by William Wordsworth, he says, first line, I don't know if he has interpreted that or Swamiji has interpreted that. I wandered lonely as a cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Meaning what? I went around the society like a cloud. Meaning what? What does cloud do? Rains, right? उसके बाद क्या होता है cloud का? Finishes. So when you truly give yourself, you dil se, you do something where it hurts little bit, not so much, to start with at least. And then he says, to give of yourself that you truly give, for what are your possessions but things you keep and guard for fear you may need them tomorrow. Isn't it? So many things that we have it, but we don't use it. There was a TED talk I told you about. 6 months, if you have not used anything, you don't need it. उन्होंने research किया है. Not like winter clothes, please. Winter clothes don't give away every time, you don't have to buy. Winter clothes, I understand. But generally, daily wear, if you have not used it for 6 months, you don't require it. So, but why do you keep it? बाद में अगर वापस कुछ हो गया, कोई किसी ने बुलाया ऐसे वाले टाइप में, तो तब मुझे यूज होगा. For the fear that you may need them to know. ये fear रहता है अपने को. अगर वापस, अगर. So he's saying, you just keep possessions because you think you need them. Right? For the things for what are your possessions, but things you keep and guard for the fear you may need them tomorrow. And tomorrow, kal, kya laega? What shall tomorrow bring? To an overprudent dog, bahut chalu dog, burying bones in the trackless sand, desert mein, as he follows the pilgrims to the holy city. So he's talking about people going to Makkah, Medina, right? In the camel mein. In the desert they're going. And when they're going, dogs also come. Their own dogs are also coming. If they find a bone, what does the dog do generally? It digs and then stores it, na? After 5 minutes, can it find it? Impossible. Desert mein smell bhi nahi rehta hai. But it has kept it. मैं बाद में खाऊंगा. मिलेगा ही नहीं. So that's what in Diwali also we were talking about. Go back to your cupboards, attics, and remove things, One lady, Punjabi lady, very, 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 बहुत दिलदार है, मगर she was doing cleaning. I think I've told you this, of her attic. That small tape recorder? This was like 10 years ago. Small tape recorder, small cassette aata. She bought it in 2000 and she was cleaning in 2008. She found it packed from US, just like that, with the 2 cassettes for recording as well. Nobody opened it. Nobody opened it. Brand new VCR camcorders. Camcorders you may have. कौन use कर रहा है? Why do you have it? Why? It's just there. We are like that intelligent dog. अच्छा मैं रखूंगा बाद में यूज होगा मुझे हाँ. I told you about that guy 55 watches. What is this? That's why I said, that minimalistic, that Netflix makes series hai, documentary kind of a thing, 1 hour. I was just watching it. Just take one item in your life and give it away every day. And after some time, you will come to a standard. Ki theek hai. Then you will know what is of value that you will keep. Then you can decide, acha, ye painting hai, it is of value, I'll keep that. Right? But many things you don't need, you don't know. It's just lying there. Others can be benefited by that. Right? How many pairs of socks you have? You go open your cupboard, everything will fall. 50 pairs of socks for 2 people, 50. Oh, yeah. So think, that's what he's saying. We are like that dogs only, very, very, but होशियार dogs हैं हम लोग. Over prudent भी नहीं, over prudent. Not just thinking, we think more. Yeah.
I think he's making a point. He's making a point to the extreme. My friend says that in your analogy, if you have an extra charger, and even if it didn't, and you give it to someone, and someone was better off than that, it may not be the ultimate giving, but it is good enough. That person benefited.
Yeah.
Even if you felt happy from just giving it, what's wrong?
Nothing wrong.
It doesn't have to be the ultimate, because people don't get to the ultimate. Like in sessions like this, people talk about the ultimate.
Yes.
But in our daily lives, it's not, very few get to practice the ultimate. My limited point is, even if you take smaller steps, that is better than no step at all, because in the desire to get to the ultimate, often people don't take the small.
Yes, yes. That's why I've been bringing that minimalistic thing. Take smaller steps. We don't even take that smaller steps. So, see, for example, I've thought about that charger thing. I was just discussing. How many chargers do you need? Simple, random thing. One is enough. But let's say you have a car. One more charger. That wire I'm saying. 2. Do you need 3? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's say you don't have a car. Right? One is enough. Why do you have 3 chargers? Wires. You see, small thing. But that interesting concept is one small thing. It could be anything. One thing you remove from your positions every day. And he's saying you will see the difference. I mean, I don't need to tell you. You start doing that, you will see how you feel. So anyway, coming back. And what is fear? Okay, I'll read again. And tomorrow, what shall tomorrow bring to overprudent dog, burying bones in the trackless sand as he follows the pilgrims to the holy city? And what is fear of need but fear itself, but need itself? See, in the sense, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए, that's a fear, right? अगर मुझे ये पड़ेगा तो वो पड़ेगा तो. What is saying that fear, the fear itself is the desire, is saying. You want that. That's why you think you need that. See, you must understand, it's a little deep here. It's sheer desire. You want that, you value that. That's why you keep it. It's not that you would need it and then you keep it. You actually value that. That's what he's saying. It's the need itself is the desire. Is not dread of thirst when your well is full, the thirst that is unquenchable. That means, आपका वो कुआं full है, मगर you're fearing कि मुझे धूप लगेगी. Then what can you do about that person? पानी है, पियो. No. मुझे अगर धूप लगेगी तो रहेगा, अगर धूप लगेगी तो रहेगा. It's not the dread of thirst when your well is full, the thirst that is unquenchable. You cannot satisfy that person. The problem is the desire itself. See, the thing is, what does it mean? Even if you have everything, right, you will not know you're full. See, it's not that the quantity there. It's the attitude that he's talking about. Mental disease, the mental disease is what if I need, what if I need? But you don't understand. He's saying you already have stuff. But the attitude ki mujhe, what if I need, that never be quenched. उसको क्या कर सकते हैं आप? कुछ नहीं कर सकते. It will always be there in your head, even though you have everything. What if I need? What if I need? So he's saying your well is full, Baba. आप fullness को देखो, enjoy करो. No. मुझे और अगर कुछ मुझे चाहिए, अगर कुछ मुझे चाहिए. वो अगर कुछ, even if you're a billionaire, you will have that, sir, अगर कुछ.
What happens if you stole for somebody else?
That's fine. You, as long as you know why you're doing it. We are talking about a person who is clueless. कि क्यों कर रहा है, क्यों स्टोर कर रहा है, क्या हो रहा है. But if you know you're keeping it, चलो अभी ये मुझे मिल गया, ये दिवाली गिफ्ट के लिए देना है ऐसे. If you think, then you keep it. You have a value for it. It's just lying there and you don't know, or you forgot about it. You know. So when Diwali comes, you exactly know, यहाँ है. So it's very interesting. It says, again, I'll read this. See, it's saying, and what is fear of need, but need itself is not the dread of thirst. When your well is full, the thirst that is unquenchable. So you have everything, but you don't realize that you have everything. So you still want something. So you can never be happy. There are those, now coming back to your point, there are those who give little of much which they have. It's very interesting. And they give it for recognition, and their hidden desires make their gifts unwholesome. See, you have $1 million, you're giving $100. Doesn't make any sense. It's so totally disproportionate. Totally disproportionate. $1 million, you have 1 million, and you're giving charity $100. He's not saying give $1 million or $50,000. He's not saying anything. But look at the disparity he's talking about. You have much, but you give little. और वो भी क्यों दे रहे हैं? Recognition के लिए दे रहे हैं. You know what? I'll give you charity. Write my father's name on this table and then etch it and keep that table. Or I'll go and do some charity so that, if I do some punya karma, my daughter will get married. Hidden motives. Or if I do this, then, people notice and मेरे बारे में बात करेंगे. And then, you know what? I can be in the know with all these guys. So he also does charity. Oh, yeah, I do charity. Yeah. But, he'll tell, मैं चलो. But he's telling, yeah, I do sometimes. He wants that recognition. Indirectly, he wants that recognition. So that is unwholesome. It's not giving. First he addresses, bande dete nahi. Uske baad, a person who gives is giving for wrong reasons. And there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life and bounty of life. And their coffers is never empty. Coffers, यानी, what is your पैसा जमा करते हैं, उसको coffer बोलते हैं. Kind of a thing, like a thing. Your coffers are never empty. Why is he saying that? See, as I told you about that auto driver in Gujarat, you remember that? That auto driver? Examples also you don't remember. What does the auto driver do? He has internet, water, laptop in his auto. Anybody can come and use it, right? There is no meter. Meter निकाल दिया उसने. And he has couple of fixed routes. He will be there, and his only motive is, जब ये बच्चे लोग IT कंपनी से आते हैं, उनको 8 घंटे नहीं 10-12 घंटे काम कराते. They're so tired, right? and they want to go home. I want to make their trip the best. Free internet, free Wi-Fi internet he'll give you. His Geo internet he's paying every month. Free internet. Chota chips and water, small water bottle, free. Everything is free. He just needs to tell. I just need to tell him kahan leke jana hai. No questions asked. He will take you. No meter. There is a box. आपको पैसे देना है तो दो. देना है तो दो. It's he came in Ye Mera India. There is a show in TV. Ye Mera India. In that he came. You know what? He is not on the roads begging. He is doing very well. In fact, people give him more.
Yes.
More. Because that guy is doing that. I want to give him more. Free में दूंगा तो मैं उसको पैसे. आप अच्छा काम करो पैसे लो. Coffers are never empty. Why? They believe in the bounty of life. Bhagwan देता है बस. They give. He will provide. There are those, he doesn't have anything. Only auto he has got. He has got little, but he gives it all. See, if I don't give that auto driver example, you'll say, sir, ye acha philosophy must. Practical nahi hai, you will say. No, I know what you all think. I also thought the same thing. That's why.
सब लोग देते थे, किसी न किसी पे भगवान आके मदद करता है, जरूर करता है.
But if you think
ठीक है.
कि मैं अगर दूंगा तो मेरे को पैसे आएंगे तब नहीं आएंगे. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I say, you can't cheat God. You get more than, it's called law of reciprocation. World is like a mirror. In Kena Upanishad it says, world is like a mirror. You give something, it will reciprocate. It's an impeccable law of life. Law, Yana, it's not I'm making a law. It's like a law of gravity. You can't say anything about it. It is true. You give, you get. But the attitude also counts. You just give for giving's sake. So my guru, immediately my guru says, if you have having an idea of getting and then giving, it doesn't work. You think Bhagwan is Buddhu, he says. It is not. So this works. You see, any genuine charity organization, they're never falling short of funds. Impossible. Now this is next level now. This is all, now I can't give you examples as well. There are those who give with joy and joy is their reward. Right? आप जब देंगे ना, you will immediately get pleasure. You cannot avoid pleasure. When you give, you say, no, I want pain. Impossible. When you give genuinely, you will be happy. You cannot avoid. I usually say, you must suffer happiness. You must suffer happiness. You cannot avoid happiness when you genuinely give. So, क्या होता है? Over the time, now this is, we are talking about PhD level giving, not normal giving. This is PhD level. Over the time, you start giving because you like the pleasure out of it. You do small kind of things, Like my father does this. Very interesting. He says, "Dhobi aayega, kitna hua? 50, 80." And he calls me, I gave him this much money. And then when COVID came, he reduced the prices for the rent. 75% he reduced. I was so happy. He starts doing small things. I'm not saying it's good or bad. The thing is, you're giving for the back. Feedback kya hai? Fitness. So you're used to giving, but you're a happy person. Here's the one thing, you're a happy person, but you're giving for happiness. There are those who give with joy, and joy is their reward. Correct. And there are those who give with pain, and pain is their baptism. Baptism, yani starting something new, right? You're baptized into Christianity or something like that. Baptism is used like that. When you're starting something new, you're baptized, right? And there are those who give with pain. That pinch I'm telling you, na? First time जब देते हैं ना, थोड़ा pinch लगना चाहिए. That is your baptism. But once you start giving, वो pinch रहता नहीं फिर. Then वो आता है, pleasure आता है. So for a non-giver, ठीक है, go through the pain. You will experience a better life. A life full of joy. Because you are, every time when you're looking at somebody, कुछ कर सकता हूँ आपके लिए, कुछ कर सकता हूँ आपके लिए. You just want to help people. You're a happy, happy person. Now, this is the master blaster. So I'll read it again. There are those who give with joy, and joy is the reward. And there are those who give with pain, and pain is the baptism. Now, this is a Vedantin. And there are those who give and know not pain in giving, nor do they seek joy, nor give with mindfulness of virtue. बंदे को पेन नहीं होता है when he gives, he gives happily. When he's giving you, he's not thinking मेरा कुछ होगा, कुछ होएगा, I'm wanting something. नहीं, वो thought भी नहीं है. When he's giving, he's not looking for happiness. कि when I give, I feel happy. क्यों दे रहा है? There are those who give, no not pain. उसको पेन होता नहीं. अरे बंदा मेरा आदमी है, I will give. I'll give. But I'm not giving for happiness. कि when I give, I'll get happy. No, 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 no. मुझे कुछ चाहिए उससे, कुछ नहीं. तू क्यों दे रहा है बंदा तू? They give. They give. How do they give? Then why do they give? They give as in yonder valley, the myrtle breathes its fragrance into space. So there is a flower called myrtle, right? वो desert flower है. Desert में कहीं उगता है वो. कोई नहीं है उधर. वो क्या कर रहा है? It's releasing fragrance. For whom? किस लिए? उसको कुछ चाहिए? नहीं. वो रिलीज फ्रेग्रेंस करेगा तो कोई उसको अप्रिशिएट करेगा, उसको हैप्पीनेस होगा? नहीं. Nothing. It gives because it must give. It gives because it must give. It's its nature to give. Now, this is difficult to understand. That holy shadow हम लोगों ने बात किया था ना, that I may do a great deal of good without knowing about it. मैं सब कुछ करूंगा मगर I don't want to know that I've done great things. Through the hands of such as these, God speaks. And from behind their eyes, he smiles upon the earth. So this man is a true giver. What does Krishna say? Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karotiha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. Who is a sannyasi? Who is a yogi? Not a person like this. It's not dependent on the dress code. It's not dependent on where he lives in Himalayas. Who is a sannyasi? Who is a yogi? Anashrita karma phalam. Karma phalam means what? जो कर्म का फल होता है, अनाश्रिता, he doesn't want, he doesn't care, but karyam karma karoti, he does his obligatory duties. What is his obligation? My guru says the primary obligation in life is to give. बाकी सब छोड़ो, self realization, all that leave. Your primary obligation in life is to give. First obligation. What to do? Giving, he's talking about, when we talk about giving, he's talking about the mental attitude of helping others all the time, in the sense, not for you, but for others. That can translate into doing.
Can I do for you?
It may not translate into doing. Not every time it may not translate.
Who says this is the first of this?
My guru says, yeah. Your primary obligation is to give. Because he says, Abai Guru, he only says, Khalil Gibran says. So a person who is giving, not for pain, not because of pain, not feeling pain, not because of happiness, not because of anything else, he is a true giver. Uske haathon se God functions. He is a sannyasi, he is a yogi. Yeah? You don't have to go for a sannyasi yogi to go to Himalayas and go to temples and mosques to see who is that guy. He's a person who gives without any of these things. It is well to give when asked. Somebody, किसी ने आपको पूछा, Madam, can you give me this? It's good to give. It's well to give. But it is better to give unasked. Through understanding. You are expecting what that person needs. So beautiful. Somebody comes and asks you, no, Sheetal, can you give me this? Little. But you are noticing, do you need this? I know you need this. I didn't ask, but I want that. But I'm not asked. But you've noticed that. You need that, right?
Realize
You realize somebody else's needs. आपको वो चाहिए ना? वो चाहिए ना? That is better, he say. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked. How? Through understanding, not because of foolishness. You have this. ये टेबल लेके जाओ. What does it make any sense to you? It is not useful to you. What do you do with this table? You need something which is useful to you. Understanding, through understanding. A genuine concern for the welfare of others. Right? You anticipate and give. You anticipate and give. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive is joy greater than giving. Simple. Masterpiece. Open-handed means a person who wants to give. In case us, we want to give, right? For us, we are looking for people who want to take. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive is greater joy than giving. See, the act of किस को क्या क्या चाहिए, that thought is more joyful than the act of giving. So immediately he says that. That means what? The attitude that you have for others, कि मैं कुछ करूं आपके लिए, that is more joyful than actually karna. See, to the open-handed, the search में क्या किसके लिए क्या करूं, is more joy greater than giving. And is there aught you would withhold? All you have shall someday be given. You understand this. What are you withholding anyway? You have so much of stuff. Why do you want to hoard? For what? Anyway, आप जब जाएंगे, all your stuff will be given away. I remember my grandmother passed away. All her saris were given away. I seen that. Grandfather passed away. Watches were given away. This was given away. Shoes were given away. Everything was given away. So, why don't you say, therefore give now? That the season of giving may be yours and not your inheritors. At least आप दिल से देंगे. You enjoy that season of giving. Instead of your inheritors, they will give away because they don't want stuff in the house. Old stuff, 100 saris of grandmother, why do they want to keep? Bangar wala, they'll give it away. And why? How are they giving? Arey, get rid of this stuff, Baba.
and they'll curse you also. Why have
Kitna. Correct. Rather you give away with happiness, right? Therefore, give now. Season of giving may be yours, not your inheritors. A couple of billionaires that I know, like I think Not sure about Bill Gates, but he's giving away 95% of his wealth. I don't know if it's true or not, but there are some billionaires like that. Did you know, sir? That's true?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true, right? 95% of his wealth is giving away. But 5% itself will be in billions only. That's enough. Why do you need so much?
इनकम का 10% देना चाहिए.
Huh. He's giving maybe 90%. Now again, he has gone to all the angles. You often say, I would give, but only to the deserving. Right. The trees in your orchid say not so, nor the flocks in your pastures. They give that they may live, for to withhold is to perish. So you have flowers here, Asha ji. आपका flowers आया नहीं. कहाँ? Orchid है ना? Oh, I thought it's alive. Oh, wow. I thought it was a show. It's a nice smell. And you have, you I didn't get the spider. Bougainvillea got nice smell. Spider lily has good smell. So he's saying, what's that? Orchid doesn't say ki, I'll give, but only to Asha ji.
सूरज देखो सबको चाहिए.
Ah,
रोशनी दे दे. बोलते हैं ये अमीर
Correct.
है ये गरीब है. सूरज.
not because why? No, Arjun and Asha ji, only two people. Why? Because they're only pouring water there. नहीं, मैं मिली को नहीं दूँ. I don't. Ashwini also, I don't know. Do you want free में आके सुन के जाएंगे मस्त? No, I don't want to give. But it's why is it giving? It gives off, it lives. Superb statement. I would give only to the deserving. next sentence he says, तू कौन है? तू कौन है decide करने वाला? He'll say. I'll come to that. The trees in your orchid say not so. They don't say that. Nor the flocks in your pasture. They keep that they may live. For withhold is to perish. You know that. You hold, it perish. Even a pond, if it holds, it perishes. खराब हो जाता है. River is flowing all the time. It's giving. It's fresh. People drink. So this is your excuse. I don't want to give. Only to deserving I'll give. You can't fool me, Khalil Gibran is saying. Surely, he who is worthy to receive his days and his nights is worthy of all else from you. And he who has deserved to drink from the ocean of life deserves to fill his cup from your little stream. See, it's a little deep here. I give an example here. I told you about this leper, leprosy, unko leprosy. There was no cure at that time. Leper who was staying outside Malabar Hill, Swamiji's place. Landson ke bahar tha. He used to be there, and people used to come and give him something. Swamiji used to always give him money, at that time, I don't know, some money he used to give, and then while going out, coming in, every time he sees him, he gives money. Every time. Every day if he sees him, every day he'll give money. He has something called as charity pouch. There is a pouch which 500, 200, 100, 50, 20, 10 cash denominations. It's a charity pouch. Wherever Swamiji goes, the charity pouch goes with him to give. So he'll give money, So one day the girls came and then said, Swamiji, you know what? You're giving this fellow money, he's smoking. He's smoking. You shouldn't give him. Hey, thanks for telling me. Next day, he asked one other student to get 555. You know what 555 is?
Cigarettes.
Good. 555 cigarettes. Whole 20 packs. He bought that and gave it to the fellow. Swamiji, kya kar rahe hain aap? What are you doing? He's smoking with the money that you're giving, and you're giving him a box of cigarettes. let's go. He gave him, and that fellow was, seventh heaven only on top of the world. Must 555 filtered, superb. Don't ask me how I know. I've heard. Never smoked it. Anyway, so he goes and then he tells the girls are asking, why did you give him cigarette? He says, hey, leprosy, it hurts. It's not a nice disease. Huh? It hurts. Huh? And it's the last stage of leprosy. He may die anytime. In his last few days, you want to torture him? The only thing that gives him pleasure is the cigarette. And you're saying he should not enjoy that? What kind of charity is that? If we can fix him, we should do that. It's the last stages of his life, and the only pleasure he gets is he smokes. He will die anyway. He will die anyway. Last moments, let him enjoy and die. See, this is very. See, you must understand where the master is coming from. So we have to go there and understand. We should not understand from our level, right? Then we will make mistakes. See, look what he's seeing there. Last moments of his life. The only thing he enjoys is cigarette. Don't deny him that. Don't deny him. He should enjoy that. Not when you are 30, 40, you is drinking cigarettes. You have a rest of your life, you have obligations. Take cigarette. Because you enjoy cigarette. That's madness. You understand the difference? A 30-year-old drinking cigarette, kaha bhikhari, let's say. And you give him cigarette, let him work. Right? Why is he begging? He can work. Something he can do. Don't give him cigarette. But context is important. Kya context hai? See, he deserves it. Who are you? So he says, surely he is worthy of receiving his days and nights. He is worthy all else from you. And he who has deserved to drink from the ocean of life deserves to fill from your. So when he's saying, I give, he's saying, forget about that idea that you are giving. That's what he's saying. You are a medium, that little stream that he's getting from. Right? And what desert greater shall there be than that which lies in the courage and confidence, nay, the charity of receiving. So here what he's saying is, we have this worst habit of receiving comfortably. What is worse? There is a huge desert in you, huge emptiness in you, if you're comfortable receiving stuff. You're comfortable receiving stuff. He's saying, see, immediately he's countering certain things. When he says, receiver ko uska banta hai, because the world, the universe will give, and from you he is getting. But immediately he's talking about the receiver. Receiver cannot be comfortable in receiving. Cannot be comfortable. No. Ye de do, ye de do, ye de do. If you're comfortable in receiving, he's saying, there is no greater emptiness in you than like a desert. You're empty. It's the worst thing in life. Even in Upanishad it says, even in Prophet Muhammad also says something. Do you know what he says about receiving? Something very interesting he says. One of the worst things a human being can have is to ingratitude. 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 He talks about ingratitude. One of the worst things a human being can have is ingratitude, where you receive comfortably. And who are you that men should rend their bosom and unveil their pride, that you may see their worth naked and their pride unabashed? So he's saying, आप कौन है to judge another person कि ये receive करता है कि नहीं? I'll decide he needs it or not. See first yourself. You yourself deserve to be a giver and an instrument of giving. So the deserve to be a giver is those three qualities. You don't have a pinch, you don't want happiness, you don't want any other things. If you deserve yourself to be a giver, give. First make sure you have those qualities. For in truth, life that gives unto life, while you who deem yourself a giver are but a witness. This is a very high attitude that you can have. That, the other day, at least last year, I spoke to Swamiji, and he was saying, why I don't understand why I'm in a position that I need to give it to my workers. We have workers, we give money and all that. Why should I be in that position? What did I do great that I have this much money and they don't have? He's questioning, at 95, he's saying this. 97, he's saying this. Why should I be in that position? What did I do so great? That he has done a lot of things. We know that, right? From at the age of 80, he started the ashram. 80. When people retire, he started the ashram. So he's done great things. But then he's saying, why am I in this position that they are not in this position? I have to give them. What did I do great? Why I should give them? They should have, right? But this is what it is. I don't understand why nature is like this, he's saying. In truth, so he's saying, in truth, life gives unto himself. Usko, he who deserves will get from you, if not you, somebody else. It better be you. That's what Khalil Gibran is saying. Better be you. Who deem yourself a giver, you are but a witness. And then he talks about receivers. And you receivers. And you are all receivers. Very interesting. Huh? Assume no weight of gratitude. See, I'll explain this. Lest you lay a yoke upon yourself, yoke means burden upon yourself, and upon him who gives. See, when you receive something, don't personalize it. It's a little, just repay, right? Gratitude, repay. But don't lower yourself. You see, you should be equal to the giver. If you understand the entire structure of how universe is, right? Tree gives, animals eat, they propagate seeds. So the animal will not feel inferior, tree mere ko de raha hai. The tree doesn't feel superior ki I'm giving. Right? So when you're giving, you should not feel superior. When you're taking, you should not feel inferior. Because you feel that because you don't understand how the nature works. The nature works in synchronicity. कि जो यहाँ से आ रहा है वो circle है वो. You are only seeing the tree is giving. What is giving the tree? Rain is giving. So the cloud feels superior. What is the cloud feeling? I'm superior. No, without the ocean, how will the cloud be cloud? Where is the ocean coming from? Water. So water comes from the rivers, rivers come from. So you don't know what is superior, what is inferior.
Medium.
Yes.
Have that attitude.
So
A
when,
witness and a medium.
so when you take something, right, don't feel inferior. That's a human weakness. When you're giving, don't feel superior. That's a human weakness.
The big problem in inclusive philosophy is the power equation that gets developed between donor and donor.
Mm.
The person receiving automatically is deemed to be needy and healthy.
Yeah,
It's very true. It exists in all.
it exists, right?
It's the biggest problem.
That's what. So, Sushila ji, Sushila ji, I work with her. She has got, she'll say like you can never find person like that. She goes to raise funds. When she goes to raise funds, very interesting. She will not go, she will go, you know what? Academy is doing great work teaching Vedanta to youngsters, taking care of them, right? It's a non-profit organization. You better give. It's a brilliant opportunity for you to give. Where are you giving, wasting your money? Give it to an organization which is to, she believes that. If there is not an iota of doubt उनके अंदर कि कुछ नहीं, this is the work. This is a God's work. You give. When somebody gives, there's no ki, acha, thank you for giving. Nothing. She does say thank you, but it's not that, oh, आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, 50,000 rupees आपने दिया. Good opportunity for you to exercise your charity, bro. Do it. See, that's the equation, where the taker doesn't feel anything. Just repay. See, rather rise together with the giver on his gifts as on wings. Avoid that complex. For to be over mindful of your debt is to doubt his generosity, God's generosity, who has free-hearted earth for mother and God for the father. That complex should not be there. Then you're doubting him. हाँ मुझे दिया, मुझे कुछ consideration करके दिया है ना भगवान आपने. No consideration. Thank you for giving me. No.
Get what you deserve, not what you
That's
desire.
it. Get what you deserve. You needed that. He is giving you. From whom there are 100 sources. Better be giver. Doesn't matter if you're a taker. Repay it back. So this literature, you know what? I've been reading this for 10 years. And every time it speaks differently. Every time. Every time it's inspiring. So this is a fine-tuning of giving. First give. If you don't give, where is the point of fine-tuning of giving?
Now you are giving us, you are giving us knowledge. That is also a giving only, no?
It is giving.
Because you have knowledge. We are ignorant. So you are giving us now. That is also giving. Smile you can give, food you can give, knowledge you can give.
Smile I can give all the time. Smile I can give all the time.
Money you can give. Khana you can give.
Yes.
So many things there.
खाना ऐसा जी देते हैं बस.
Okay, तो खाना दे वो भी एक देना ही है.
Anything.
सबसे बड़ा.
So go through it, read it 1 or 2 times. You will find more gems in this. Other perspectives, there are many perspectives. We actually discussed this in the academy. So it's very interesting. Okay, questions?
बिना क्यों नहीं जाते? Because they are selfish.
No, because they don't know that the beauty of giving. That's why they don't give.
Wow.
There is this thing in us, to preserve. If you preserve, you feel you'll be secured. That is a false concept. Only when you give, you feel secure. It is so, I mean, people have to read that. It is difficult to understand just like that. It's a very internal thing.
How do you know whether you are giving rightly or wrong?
So,
Suppose you are giving results in something wrong,
then next time don't give there.
but at that time you don't know.
You won't know. You won't know. So, to the best of your ability, you do certain things. Then you get a feedback. Then you see. So, at that time, you won't know. If you're confused, ask friends, families, or well-wishers. If not, then you won't know. It's always a feedback.
Vivek, isn't there a saying that yad bhavam tad bhavati? So when it is if your motive is good, no matter what the other person uses it for, that doesn't matter because your motive is good. Your idea of giving is good. Isn't that Sanskrit saying yad bhavam tad bhavati?
I have to check that. I've not come across that. Okay. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, sir.